Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders. All right, we are now live and ready for prime time. Oh, let me just check. Yes, 8 o'clock prime time. Okay, we're good. MJ's with me tonight. Good evening, MJ.
How are you, sir?
I am doing well, doing very, very well. Tonight, we're going to be kind of going through some music, talking mixing, taking songs and what you blend with all those different little aspects that DJs should know.
That's the goal. I mean, here at Disc Jockey News, sometimes we plan a show, and then after we've planned it, we've decided to go a different direction. And then after that, once we meet, we go another direction, and it always ends up being the best direction if we just let it go. So I had an idea, John had an idea, and by the time we got here, it's like okay, that works that way. So we're going to look at things tonight, and my original idea was about why I choose what songs to mix with what. And what we're going to do tonight is John has a list of songs that he had gotten requests for. Was it this past weekend, John?
Yes, this past weekend. We had a one of the larger proms in the area here.
Okay, and we're going to pick some songs that were requests on his thing, and we're going to look at what I choose as a mix DJ to go in and out of them, because it's not always just a hit song. You can, but there might be certain things, for certain reasons, I go a different direction or pick a certain mix, and that's what we're going to look at tonight. What do I choose? And more importantly, I think, why do I choose it? And then we're going to show you how I mix it. And some of them are plain beat matches that go across a bridge and out. Other ones might be a little tricky. I don't know, but I'm going to explain my methodology. And it's funny that I'm going to be explaining my methodology because I have another friend, John. He's actually older than me, and I've known him forever. He gave me a break back in the days DJing, and he'll stand next to me. And I guess apparently I talk my way through my own mixes and explain to myself what I'm going to do. And he's like, "That's kind of funny." And I'm like, "What?" I mean, he's like, "No, not funny. Like I'm laughing at you, funny." But it's like you have a serious thought process through what you're going to do with this. You know, you've taken programming to like a whole new level, and I'm looking at, like this past Saturday he stopped by, and I'm looking at a couple girls that were sitting close. I'm like, okay, I want to do an old girl song and a new girl song. He's like, what do you mean an old girl song and a new girl song? I said, well, I want to do Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle, to kind of grab the old, and then I said I want to do Ariana Grande, new girl. And he said, it's funny that you say old girl, new girl. And I said, but to them, it's an old song sung by a girl for girls, and a new song sung by a girl for girls. And that's what we're going to hopefully maybe work you through tonight and understand my process. It's not everybody's process. John and I have determined that my mind does not work like other DJs. But I hope there's something I can't have in there that will help you learn and help you do your job not only better, but more enjoyably. So.
That sounds awesome. First off, let's kind of start now. Well, let me back up. Before we get into tonight's show, I want to make a quick little announcement, is that starting the week of June 2nd, we're going to be introducing some new shows for summer of 2019 here on DJNTV. We're going to be adding a series of music shows that are going to be added to the channel. There's going to be more coming out on this, but basically we're going to have a few of our regular shows that are continuing. We've got a couple of the shows we're going to be putting on the shelf for the summer. And then we're going to be adding a few new music shows. And I say a few, and I'm not going to go into specifics because we've got multiple music shows that we have in the works, and we'll be announcing as we get a few more details and such together with that. So, getting back to tonight. MJ, now, for those who are wondering where you go for keeping up with music, let's give about a 2-minute explanation of where you are finding, what you're adding to your library of music.
Well, usually I walk out on the street and just try to hear what the young kids are listening now.
As they go by with their cars, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that song.
They're
Yeah.
running by the car listening as they're driving by. No, mine is super simple, and there's two ridiculously basic directions I go. Now, I mean, these are ridiculously basic, and people go, how do you stay up on the songs? How do you do this and that? When I tell you these, you're not going to believe me, and many of you are going to doubt it, and many of you are going to go a different direction, and many of you are going to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm telling you what I do. That's all I'm telling you. So once a week on Thursdays, and I think soon it's going to be Tuesdays because of some stuff that we're not telling you about. Billboard puts out their chart for that week, and I follow Billboard chart above all else because Billboard is the industry standard. You don't get awards for hitting so and so mixed services chart, or you don't get an award for being on such and such's chart. You get a Billboard award. They're the ones that everyone looks at. If my song hits number one on Joe Blow's chart, unless we're talking something like Spotify, iTunes, stuff like that, it's important to hit those charts too.
Right. Yeah.
But if my chart hits Billboard, I've made it. That's a big deal. So I always go to Billboard once a week, and because I stay up to date on my stuff, anything that comes for me, again, this is my way. Anything that comes in the top 40 that I don't have, I get, and that's just simply starting right there. No matter what it is, it comes in the top 40, I get it. So that I have it. Now, I know a lot of you like to do streaming services and you have stuff where they give you just bunches of stuff and you go through it. I'm telling you, for the most part, depending on how much time you spend going through those songs, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your DJ knowledge on songs that you have never previewed, never listened to, don't know, because doing what I'm doing, the mixing, you need to know the song, how it begins, how it ends, whether you do it by just marking it with cue points or you get to know the song, whatever. It's important for those. So I don't download hundreds of songs. I look at that week, what do I not have that's on Billboard's top 40 and download it. So that means some weeks I download one new song, period. Other weeks I might download 5 new songs. Now, the other half of that is songs that don't hit Billboard that become super hot. So if Taylor Swift drops an album like she did last week, the big one this year that I had to do before it hit the chart was Jonas Brothers. What's their song? Sucker.
Okay.
I was asked for that long before it hit the charts because they were doing a midnight release and it was this big thing. So being around people that are younger than you that are into this, listen, nights you have off. I tell you a lot of times about going out and checking out other DJs. Go places when you're off, and you're going to hear songs that you go, I don't know what that is. Shazam it, and then you go look at it and go, oh, that's number one on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So forget about that. It's number one on Spotify. A good example, last summer before, I don't remember which it was, that Move to Miami came out. That song, Move to Miami.
Yeah.
It never charted on Billboard at all, but it was a crazy huge song. So Billboard will get you those, and then the other ones, paying attention to those one-offs, the things that are coming. Listen to people. If somebody asks you for something, always take a note on what they ask. The other night, a girl asked for a song. I did not know it, and I didn't want to just grab it and play it because I didn't get a chance to listen to it. It was, give me 10 seconds here. Mm-hmm. Because this is important, why I'm showing this, because it's very important. I told her, I said, it's not on the charts. I don't have it. And she went and brought me another chart from another thing that I'd never seen in my entire life. Okay. And I'm like, well, that's, number 8 on there. That's nice. But I said, it's not on mine. I said, she had her phone. I said, can I take a picture of it? And I doubt we're going to be able to see this. But nope, I didn't figure we would. But I basically took a phone of her and that chart so that I would know that song to look for it. And it's still not on the Billboard, but it's growing in the other charts. So I will have that song this week because she asked for it. I didn't know it. Let me take a picture of it. I have a note, and I can go grab it. I know that was more than 2 minutes, but I kind of think that's important.
Yeah, no, it's good. Very good.
You can stay way on top of stuff by saying with just Billboard, not doing anything else. Forget the services that you dump hundreds of songs into your computer. Forget that. I spend less than an hour a week looking at the chart, scrolling down, have it, don't have it, go get it. Simple as that.
Well, just looking at the Billboard charts from last week, there's 2 songs that debuted in the top 40. So they've been there for 1 week. And obviously those would be songs then that would fit your criteria. They made it to the top 40. I'm going to grab those 2 songs, and that would be 2
Yeah, if they're some people go beyond 40, and that's fine if you want to go beyond 40. I'm okay with that. What did I grab last week? I grabbed John and I just played it for John, even though it's not on the charts. I liked it. I wanted to play it because I'm a fan of Avicii. They released a previously unreleased song by Avicii called SOS. I put it on there because that was an example of one that's not on the charts. But Jonas Brothers' Cool hit the charts last week, if I'm correct. BTS, which we'll be talking about, BTS's Boy with Love hit the charts last week. And then after the charts, because remember the charts come out on Tuesday, we had Taylor Swift's Me come out. So it had that one wouldn't even you're checking the charts, it's obviously going to come out after that. You're not going to have it. So those are ones that perfect example of what was there, grabbed stuff that okay, it's Taylor Swift. I'm going to find out what her first single is, get it because somebody's going to ask me for it. So
excellent. There's a couple more songs that I had that I've forgotten to grab. So I'm going to dump a couple of the other ones. So let's dive into some of the music and such and get your thoughts. So one of the big requests that we've had and everyone's hearing across the country who's doing shows right now is that Old Town Road. It's been a big request, and it's a difficult song if you want to try to keep a dance floor. Is that a safe thing to say?
If you don't know what you're doing. I get yelled at all the time. Now, first, I want to apologize. I get yelled at all the time for my comments about DJing and calling people you're not a DJ unless you mix in that. But that is a good example of a song that you have to work to make it work. Okay? And you can go a couple different directions with it. Now, first off, I got this version is the version I chose because I liked it. There are really upbeat versions. There's one I told John that I just downloaded, put it on my thing to download this week. Was somebody did a mashup of Old Town Road and Timber by Kesha and Pitbull, much faster, but can be used certain places to get that energy to come across there. I have a very fast remix. This is a good example of Shallow from the movie Stars Born.
Yeah.
Very upbeat, very off the deep end, but it works because it's a good version. So we're going to switch over. You want me to switch screens or just play the song?
Either one. It doesn't really matter.
We'll switch screens for a second, then we'll come back. But this is my version of Old Town Road. It is the CK intro, and this is the short version. So I play a short version and a clean version. So you can start with the beat at the beginning if you want. That's the basic beat. Should I turn it up? We good? Let us know in the chat if it's not loud enough or whatever.
Yeah, we can hear it in you, and you can talk over it.
Okay. So that's just kind of like the intro there. And then I'll go to my loop point, which is right here. So if I'm looping something in at that same BPM, I just have a quick count in. But one of the things I do is you see that is 68 BPM. Yes. I rarely pay it at 68 BPM. I bop it up as high as I can go to 73 or 75 or something like that. It always goes up. And that's where I run that at because I just feel I need to. So as we come into that, it's a little bit, you got a little bit more pep. And then he comes in. Okay, now here's something you need to think about that John and I a lot of times talk about virtual and its ability to add a kick drum.
Yep.
That's one where I'll add a kick drum or maybe come out of a song that's in the similar BPM that has a kick drum. So I'm going to go and find one right now that's within that 70 to 76 BPM that has a kick out. And let me find one that has a kick out. This one's very upbeat, and you can take it lower if it's the right one. All right, so yeah, this one is Drake and Little John, Look Alive. I'm going to switch back here. If I can remember how to switch. There we go. All right, so this is the outro. All right, so if I were to... Now I can play with my high, lows, and mids and pull my mid out to kind of give that a feel. Then stop it right here. So it has a little bit of a kick there to it, and that's the reason I choose that one and roll through that one.
Sure.
So mixing into it, you can be creative and do quite a few different beats in there. That one's a hot beat. I use Mobamba a lot, and Mobamba's outbeat is if you do that, we got that's what I call my down energy one, and I'm going to remember that one. But if you want to play a little bit of word play on some of these, you can do Riding Dirty. Now that's words over words, which I wouldn't do. But if you have a Riding Dirty intro, outro, that could be a good wordplay song. But you bring it in like that. But there are times also that I come to a song that maybe just has an end. So let me pick something from this year that kind of has an end. This one have a good end? No. That one have a good end. Hold on here, and I'll come back to it in a second here. This is perfect. Switching screens back and share. And this is my version that I play of Wow by Post Malone. But here's the ending. It has that ending there. Yep. So you can take that ending and drop in from here. Whoops, let me turn the volume up there. So you could come to the ending of that. Totally different BPM. Totally different BPM. And it kind of gives you that carry across there.
Sure.
So does that kind of make sense so far with that one?
That it does.
Okay, now I'm going to end that song, and I want to take the energy through the roof after that song. Okay. So I'm going to go from the ending of that. We'll switch back. And we're going to do the ending, which... Whoops, if I type over here better. So that's a pretty low ending there. And you can also do this in reverse, because this song, it's Cardi B's, I Like It Like That. So if you want to come in from energy, you can come in from energy on that. It gets you some energy and let that ride to that point and then backspin or something out. And drop into it. But we're going to go the other way. We're going to go from the ending to the beginning of Cardi. So I remember I always do my cue points, so I know at 7 I am 8 out, or wherever that's at. I can't find where I'm at there. There we go. Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to use that as my point where I'm going to come in from here. And let them ride across and hit hard there. So we're going to go from low energy to high energy. Okay. Whoops, sorry, missed that. And we're into something a little bit more up. And as you see, that I'm low on the BPM there. So now I can take that where I had it pushed all the way here, and it didn't sound odd. Now I only go plus or minus 8 all the time.
Okay.
So now this song, instead of being stuck down at 73, I can edge the song up a little bit, and then I can jump into something that's in the high 70s at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of that make sense? Why I'm choosing them for that? And
no,
like I said,
it does.
It's the direction you want to take it. Do you want to pop it? Do you want to bring it down? And then if you want to go a totally different direction, which I should have done this too, I'm going to take it with a double beat, which instead of being 70 or 75, okay, I'm going to, my echo's on there. I'm going to do a remix I have. I can't think of what it's called. Oops, I'm typing on the wrong screen again. Sorry. Friend of mine did a mashup of Pony and How Low, and it goes like this. And that's more or less the same BPM. It's double. Okay, so we're in there. So I can come out of that one. And I could have been doing this before too. So this is a post-ending cross mix. Or you could have done that in before, where and you keep it tight that way to where you don't have a lot of dead space in between the songs.
Sure.
So you can do the double beat, which is, like I said, it all depends on where you want to take it. And that's the purpose, that it isn't just I'm going to play a hit song and then I'm going to play a hit song. It's where do I want to take it? Do I want to keep it low? Like I told John, a lot of times if I'm going to drop down that low, I'll do 3 down that low, give or take, or I'll do maybe Mobamba, then go into, or Old Town Road into Mobamba, and then pick it up with that Cardi B one because I want to get out of that low energy and get back up. And even though it's only 75 BPM, the Cardi B one, it has a pop because it has kind of a Latin feel to it. And I can get out of that with doing just a straight mix, and then it brings it up, and then I come up into the upper 70s and grab something in the upper 70s and keep the energy wherever I choose to keep it at.
Sure. You can take it off and expand from there. Neat. Let's go. We want to cover a couple more songs tonight. Let's jump to was it about 2 weeks ago? There was a big talk because of BTS being on Saturday Night Live, and this week on the Billboard charts, or I should say, last week, "Boy with Love" was the highest debuting song, coming in all the way at number 8, I believe it was. So, first off,
Go ahead.
is this BTS thing, for those of us who we haven't been paying all that much attention? Is this
BTS and Pink Black? You got to have them.
Are they? And they're not going anywhere for a period of time.
No.
Are they going to be legitimate dance floor things that we're going to be playing in 3 years, or is it going to be? Trying to think of a group that came on and everyone thought they were the greatest thing, and then all of a sudden nothing.
You understand? BTS is an international hit. So they've been worldwide, selling billions and billions of albums worldwide. They're just coming into America now. So they're there. It's like Ricky Martin was big before Ricky Martin was big. We found out about them later. Same way with other artists that come in that way. But BTS is just, if you live in Europe, in Asia, in anywhere else but the United States, BTS is played 100 times a day all the time. So I think they are. I'm freaking surprised it took it so long to come to the charts and come to requests. It really took me forever and a day. I thought they would come quicker. But yeah, that one's in there. I say it hits the Billboard, you have to have it, because somebody, especially if you're doing any kind of event where you have anybody under 30, they're going to want to hear it. Simple as that. They're going to want to hear it. Unless you're DJing at a bar. Now, keep in mind, this is the things I like to describe. You have clubs, you have bars with a dance floor. That means ones that they have lights, or even if they move chairs out of the way and people dance, and you have bars. Bars are ones where there is no lights. They don't dim it. There's no dance floor. You're playing music in the background. None of this applies to you, because all you are is a hired jukebox that night. So this isn't for that. This is for if you're in a crowd where there's dancing, and if they're 30 and under, there's a good chance they're going to ask for BTS.
So what's your go-to song right now with BTS?
For the longest time, BTS, my go-to was Drop the Mic. But now with the new ones out, it's Boy with Love.
Okay.
Drop the Mic, or Mic Drop, sorry. It's a Steve Aoki remix. Jump into it here. I'm going to jump into it. Hold on. That's a double beat 85. It's got a nice little drop to it. But the new one, Boy with Love, is kind of got that same smooth feel. It's got Hasley in it, so you have the girl singer, Hazley, or however you want to pronounce her name. But those are the two to go to. I do have to do a shout out to my dear friend Julia Ross, who years ago, she was in a band called Everlife, and we had the same booking agent. We got to do shows together and tour all over. One of the songs on BTS's new album, the song Home, she wrote. So big shout out to Julia. Congratulations. Great job, kiddo. But BTS, like I said, Mic Drop was always my big request for them prior to it. But now with the Boy with Love that's on the charts. Where's it at right now, John? You said
8. It came out last week at number 8.
All right, so think about that. It's a top 10 song. Whether you like it or not, whether you've heard of it or not,
it's there.
It's a top 10 song. Now, what I did do with this, because at that time I could not get a remix version because it came out so quick, is that I kind of have a regular version here, and you see I have a mix out point right there. So that whole song in itself is 4 minutes long. The places I DJ at, you do not play a 4-minute song ever. You'll get yelled at. So I'm coming in with the song with that pickup point there, and by the time I get to here, this point right here, I'm out. And I'm out of the song. I didn't share that, Durham. I am sharing.
Yeah, I'm seeing the screen. Yep, you're good. We're good.
Yeah, so that's that. And like I said, you can do anything. That's 120. So you can do any of the 120 songs. You can come out of that. This version doesn't have an intro and an outro. If I'm telling you, if this song, if I got it, because I'm probably going to end up find one of the places that I download from, giving an intro outro version, take that outro beat and maybe do Justin Timberlake's. I got the what's the one? I got this feeling. Mm-hmm. Whatever the name of that song is. This. Can't Stop the Feeling. Thank you. Why could I not think of that song? But that one, because that one's in that same range. A lot of Bruno Mars's are in that range. If you're still willing to play Michael Jackson, there are Michael Jackson ones that are in that range. So that whole like 114 to 121, there's a lot in there you can play with and play across. Like I said, with that one, because of the fact that, let's go back to here, because of the fact that I'm not playing the whole song, I'm only playing part of that. So if I was going to drop out of it there, I'm going to make a marking right there that's where I want to leave it at. And then I'm going to go find a song. Oh, my echo's still on. I'm going to go find a song that's within that range. And all I'm going to basically do is go around that range is what I do with my searches. So I'm going to go 117 to 123 and look and see what I've played there, what I think will feel that will work with that. And I need something with a beat and a drop, because that song, like I said, remember, you're going, that's pretty high energy, and I'm going to cut it right. I'm going to cut it right there. So I need to have something that has a beat and drops into that. So if I were to look down there, I might do one of the quick edits of one of the promo only quick edits, like Kesha's TikToks, their version of it, because we have a beat coming in. So I can do that. I would do that in there. So if I'm back here a bit, let that play. I'm going to wait for that to come into that point, that number 6, right here. Bass off. So that gives you a full across there, gives you a little bit of a beat in, and then you are out to the other side.
So you're basically, when you hit your last cue point, the cue point 8, I would guess in that configuration, you slammed basically that the crossfader across.
Volume up for that one. You can do
whatever, however
you do. It's brought in, yeah.
You cut the one off, and then so there was no 4-beat overlap in that situation. Really, after
there was a riding beat,
but that was before that cutoff point.
Yeah. So what it is, the idea is called posting. I'll show it again here. The idea is posting. So that means that's always the first word. I make number 4 always the first word. And then depending on whether I'm cutting in the middle of the song or the end of the song, 6 is the last word that I want there. So that would be the last thing that I would want to hear. Oh, sorry. Because it goes into the next section. So I'm 8 back on that cue point, and that's what I marked. So if I'm going to do that, I'm doing those 2 from right there, and I'm going to let them ride over each other. And then when I get to that point right there, I will pull the bass out so that the transition of the echo isn't so hard. So it would come out here. The bass is off, and then as I do that, I also take the high-low filter, which you can see here moving at the bottom there. I'll take that and filter that as I hit the echo, because I have an echo button that leaves an echo, and it's post-fader, so that means when I turn the volume off, that echo is going to continue. So it would sound like this without the two of them mixing. That's what that would sound like without that. But if I put it all together and go back here, I want that right there. That's why I say mixing, that you can put stuff together that you wouldn't necessarily think to put together by being a little creative, because I know there's a big difference between those two songs. So I'm taking a little kick out of that one, the BTS song, because it's hard hitting, and I'm going into one that's not quite as hard. There's a kick there, but it's not quite as hard. So I'm easing it off and making a good transition point there at the end of that course and posting it. So it's last word, first word, on last word on 8, first word on 1. So you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and you get a clean cut. You keep the energy going. You don't lose the crowd, nothing like that. You just kind of work across.
Yeah.
That's why I choose to do that way. Like I said, because I don't have an intro, outro, or a short version, I mark that there the day I downloaded it, so I know what's going on, and I know how to get in and out of that the way I want to get in and out of that at that point. If the crowd's loving it, I'll go on to the next chorus, and then just on that chorus, pick a song that has a good intro and let that ride over the chorus and come out after that if they're liking it. So it kind of leaves you there, lets you decide whether they're liking it or not liking it.
Sure. So you got a couple of different options.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next song here. Sweet But Psycho from Ava Max.
I'm also typing in the wrong screen again. That one also, I have a nice little version. That one, I think, gosh, how long ago did that one come on my thing?
It should have been about 16 weeks ago, roughly 16, 17. So about 4 months ago. And it's been, I'm not sure where it peaked out at, but it's at number 13 right now on the charts.
First seen on February 7th. So it went in the top 40 on February 7th. I had that.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Let me check the other one here. Yeah, February 7th on both of those, because I have two versions. I have a quick hit and I have a redrum quick hit, which I play a lot of quick hits just because, like I said, if you're dealing with that crowd, you kind of have to pick stuff that does not last a half an hour. So this is the really short one here, which has 5 plays on it. Oops. That's all the intro that comes in on that one. It's just a clap intro. Not a lot of energy. So I might choose that one on a song on something that isn't coming in hard hitting. But I would choose the other one because I know it hits a little bit harder. Just a little bit harder. With the beat rolling with it. So depending on whether I want to do that with, I'll put this one over here, whether I want it to calm down or I want it to hit a little bit better. So it all depends on the energy. And the endings are the same way. I go to the ending on this one. Back to that tiny little beat that you can use as an intro. Or we go to the other side. Little bit of energy difference on both of those.
Sure.
Which you're running also a minute 30 on both. So both are about the same length. Now, John, tell me what your question would be to come in or out of this. What are your thoughts on something like this? Because they both have intros and outros. Again, that's why I say go pick them. Pick what you want, pick what you work with, and you can bring them in and out. So tell me your thought on what you chose or what you think someone should have chose for that.
As I'm listening to those songs, it's they sing along to the refrain. Of course, it's got a great hook there. So you had the girls in the crowd singing along to it, but it's one of those things. Does a person play the whole song, or do you get in and out of it? Is probably the part I was I was hemming and hawing about how far how long do you take that song? Is that one that you would be in and out of, like some songs like that BTS where you showed where you were into it and out of it quickly?
Good example. Middle, which was out a while back, very popular, is another one that people like to sing along with. And a couple places I found they really like it. So I will put the short version on, have the full version, have it marked because I set cue points going, the end of short version here is actually the start of long version here. So if they're really into it, I'll go 5, 6, 7, 8 and drop. Now I'll actually do that right now and show you that.
Sure.
I always forget how to share. There we go. Okay, so middle. So we have the short edit here. And it's, like I said, it's short and it ends. All right, so if I wanted to go into verse 2, I have this extended one that when I hit 5. So all I have to do is make sure they're on the same BPM, which they are, 112.
Yep.
Come out of that and stop. I'm going to stop the one on the left, the blue, and start the one on the right is all I'm going to do. So they're into that, and I give them the rest of the song if they want. And there's lots of great little points along there that see right there at the end of that chorus, you can get out again. You can get out of it there if you choose to. But that's a good, like I said, you have to read your crowd all night long. You're going to spend reading and watching your crowd, looking at them. As I said at the top of the hour, determining old girl song and new girl song. So if you joined in late, you have to go back and watch old girl song, new girl song to understand that, because my mentality as I work through these sometimes is different. But you, like I said, you read the crowd. Both versions there are almost identical in sound. They're just a little bit longer, and I have 2 short versions and 2 other ones. So I kind of play around with those a little bit. Did you want to go back to the other one? Because the other one, any reason about the other one you wanted to look at?
Well, I was just kind of curious if there was how you had used it, and if there was something that you said, "Oh, this is exactly where it is," or the best
what
way
was
to
it
handle
again? It was
"Sweet But Psycho."
All right, so that song runs at 133 on its own. So let's say I'm going to do the quick hit. I probably would choose, even though right now the non-heavy beat one I play more often than the one that had the heavy beat. So to my play count, I play that more. But I'm going to pick the heavy beat one. And we're going to go out of it into, again, we're going to do a search. I'll go back and share.
Yep, there we go.
And there, okay. And I'm going to look at my things and see what I have in that area of 129 to 135, okay? And there are you're going to find some weird stuff in here that you might want to play, might not want to play. Bruno Mars, I have a remix of Bruno Mars. And I could come out of that with that. That's what I want, that one there. And volume's not up. And just popped across between the 2 of them.
Yep.
And that's what I say about posting mixes where you're mixing them, where you come across there. If I wanted to go the other direction to something really kind of laid back, Love Shack's within there if you want to go old. Let's see what's in here. You could really go all over the place. There's Michael Jackson in there. Some older ones in there. LAMFO's in there. Party Rock Anthem. Tootsie Roll is in there if you wanted to be kind of silly and go out of that into Tootsie Roll. I actually think I have a different version. Let me see if I have a different one there. Is that the short version? Oh, there's an error. So, yeah, so that would be one that I would set in there. Turn the echo off. That was just a dropping it in as the intro comes. Backspin. And that's kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, making sense to anybody? Am I losing people?
Nope.
Do I look like a goober?
No, it looks good.
More than normal?
Let's see. I want to hit one more song, then we're going to wrap up for today.
No.
Yes, because we've got other shows and
Okay.
and I've got to go blow my nose again. I found a cold here, but I'm getting it hopefully out of the way this week and not next week when I have to go fly.
For sure.
Con Kelma, I'm sure I'm saying it inappropriately or wrong. From Daddy Yankee and Katy Perry and Snow.
I do not have that one.
Okay.
So we'll do an example of that. This is perfect. This is why I told him don't tell me so we can do it live. So I'm going to go in. This is again. I don't have this song, so I have a choice to either go download it from one of my download services or use Deezer. Which would you rather see me do?
Let's do Deezer. We haven't played with that all that much. I want to see if it actually works.
This is not going to have mixed versions. Okay. So spell the name of the song again because I forget that one.
CON space CALMA.
All right, so we have some remix versions. So if I was then playing that song and I needed to play it, let's throw it up there. I would listen. I can already see the downbeats aren't right. I would set the downbeat by going boop.
Yep, this is it.
That's the first word. That's what I would consider the first word of the song. So I'm going to cue point that there. Go back for an intro. Set a cue point there. So I could play with that. So we're running at 94 beats per minute. So let's go over here. Go back to my music. And I'm going to say 92 to 96. We're going to do a short range. And we're going to come out of, yeah, we're going to come out of that song, but I'm going to have this set for a loop in. So again, I'm just doing this live to show that if I never heard this song, never played it, never nothing, what I plan on doing. So bring it in. Right there, I'm playing a song that I never played before.
Now, would you go and set the end cue points in that song before playing it, or would you just get the first ones done and kind of fly by the seat of your pants towards the end?
Probably because I'm mixing so quick, I would just listen to it and go, there's the chorus, and then I get, okay, the chorus ends this way. I know the next chorus is going to end this way, more or less, depending on how quick it jumps into whether it has a post-chorus, whether it jumps into a bridge or something like that. But the fact that I play so many quick mixes, the chances are I won't have time to pick the ending point. I'll have to kind of play that by ear and go, okay, so I don't know where this ends, so I need a song that has a strong intro so that I'm able to set that with something strong and not lose it. So it's a strong song with a strong beat, so I would have to do that. And it has a Latin feel to it, so I might even pick, I just go into something else in that BPM range in the Latin stuff maybe, which would be, again, typing on the wrong computer. A good one. No, I don't want to do that one. This one, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what remix this is. If I wanted to go into that, I could. This one, I don't have a good intro one. This is a good Latin song to play. But I don't have a good intro version on that one. We could be really kind of weird with it and do a reggae version of Gas Pedal, which is still Daddy Yankee.
Right.
But it's a remix that throws a little something else over that. What else can I do here? That's an old one. I don't want to do that one. But there's a lot of things. You technically, Wobble could fit in with that. Uchiwala, I think maybe I would mix with that. Maybe 679. That I think, because when we're talking about a strong beat, I would probably pick that one because it has a strong beat. So if I'm coming out of that, jump way into that. All right. Share. So I have that running behind there the whole time. I can bring it up anytime I want. So I'm going to go back, do my beat jump. I'm going to come out of that into this other one. They're both up there. It has a strong across there. I probably would. That's still a little less good energy into less energy, but that still shows a way that you can pick one that has a good beat and a hard hit, because I want something that's going to stand up to that other one, because the other one has such a good strong ride. You can pick a point like that at the end of a bridge, end of a chorus, end of a whatever, and kind of drop into that. It's individual choice. And all of this, keep in mind that all of these mixes that I'm doing, you can scratch into them. I'm not scratching into them because I'm trying to keep it simple and super basic for everyone. So half the time, because I don't scratch every song, so we're going to say half the time I'm going to be scratching into stuff or scratching out of stuff, but I'm not showing any of that tonight because I just want to show basic thought pattern of why I choose this song to put after this song, because just a hit or just a hit and the same BPM is not going to get you there. You need to think deeper into the music than that. That was my purpose of tonight.
Yeah,
so.
And I think you've definitely demonstrated some flexibility with that. Two things, Deezer, or because there's other connection. If you played that song this week, set those cue points, and then you came back and played that track next week, would the cue point still be there?
Yeah. What all the download, because I trust me with DiscJockey News, I test all the software. So I test Serato with I had it for a month with Tidal and the SoundCloud Go, and all of them kind of work the same way. If you set it up to where that when you get ready to stream the song, because you saw how fast it loaded. Once that's loaded, if it's in your cache, it's in your cache for a month, and all they require is that you log back online at least once a month to show that you still have the paid license for the subscription to whatever one you're doing. So I could literally not be online, play this for a month, get to day 32. I don't know if they have a grace period, whether it's dead midnight or whatever. But if I don't go online, there's a chance I could go in there and not be able to play it. It would require me to log back in.
Sure.
But if I log back in halfway between that 30 days, then that kicks it another 30 days. But probably depending, especially a song like that I didn't know, let's say, I would go over to one of my download services, BPM Supreme or Club Killers, and get a proper intro outro version that is marked clean, so I know it's clean, because that's what I choose to play. You can play whatever you want. I'm definitely not telling people to play clean versions. It's what I choose to play. So I would go to one of my download services first, grab it from there, because like I said, with where I work in the city, I can get Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere. I can tie into my phone and get a song downloaded really quick. It's not going to take much of my data up doing that, using it as Wi-Fi from there. And then that way I have a version that I know has an intro and outro, that I know it's clean, that I know that I can play, and I get to play it. So that's why I really embrace. I probably use the download services like the BPM and the Club Killers to get songs what I want to play out more than I go to Deezer, because I want to have the right version. So sure. You saw how many came up on that song.
Yeah, quite a few.
And I would have to pick through a lot, and you don't get that option with this. With the SoundCloud Go Plus for Serato, you do get to look at DJ edited versions on that one. You don't on Tidal, you don't on Deezer, and you don't on Spotify if you're using Algorithm. That's the only one. So if I had Virtual's Content Unlimited, I can look at DJ versions, or if I have Serato with SoundCloud Go Plus, I can look at DJ versions of it. And that's probably that I would go that direction to have what I want, instead of taking a chance on something that could crap the crowd out.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Best to have the proper version.
That song was a perfect example of a song that's not on the charts, that is popular. I just haven't thrown it into my mix yet. No one's asked me for it. People are asking me for songs that I can't believe that I'm asking for. What's the one that they've been asking me for lately? I I got to remember what year it is. I forget here. I guarantee nobody has played it. Hold on here. Well, I mean, some of you might play it. It is from, I don't have the year, Lip Gloss by Little Mama.
Oh.
Crap, am I been getting a lot of requests for that? And it's not a new song.
No, I remember when it came out.
I'm not talking in one venue. I'm talking 3 different clubs in 3 different areas of the city. Not clubs, these were bars and college things. 3 different areas. They all asked for it. And I'm like, what's up with that? So that's one there that, you have to have because you got some people asking for it. And that's a good example of not being on the charts sort of thing. You have to hunt everything, and having other DJ friends are good to show you things and to go listen, see what they're playing, ask them what they're playing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that came out in 2008.
Yeah. And like I said, probably past 4 months, I've gotten 6 or 8 requests for it in multiple bars.
Yeah, that's unusual. MJ, thank you very much for your time and knowledge. There's some good stuff there, and hopefully we had a nice crowd watching tonight on YouTube. This video, for those of you who are watching, will probably not be able to stay on YouTube because you heard a lot of music. So we're going to be taking music shows like this, and they will be out at DJNTV.com/training. There's music shows there already because we can host the video somewhere else and then have it available there at DJNTV.com/training. You can go there, and if you are a member with the Insider, you're not only going to see the music shows, you're going to see about another 100 videos that'll show up on that page of different training videos that we have done over the last few years. Yeah, awesome. I think
cool. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Like I said, I know my way's not everybody's way. So, don't hack me too hard in the comments about it. But like, it's just basically want you to rethink as you're doing this, not just, oh, this is a hit and this is a hit, or not just it's this BPM and this BPM. Think deeper. Talk to yourself like I do, apparently. talk your way through it.
Oh, that sounds great. Thanks, MJ, again. We'll be back here in about just short of 10 minutes with Dan and Shaney tonight with Shaney's I Got 5 on it. Thanks, everybody.